There you go.
Sorry. I'm still laughing about the dick sucking thing. All right.
Holy shit.
All right.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. All right.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to episode 10 of the Nyrdcast podcast, not your regular dialogue. I go by the name of Toner, and I got the crew with me again. Got Joe Dust.
I like turtles.
We have Jay.
Hello.
Big Matt.
What's up?
And sound guy Steve.
Hello.
Hello indeed.
I'm heading home with some nudist ventriloquist. We met up somewhere, hitching off Route 66. Oh, the day you left me, my life became this big mess. Now I'm hitching home with some nudist ventriloquist.
All right, Jay, who is our unofficial beer sponsor this episode?
Well, jazz hands,
We're not a video podcast. Who cares?
Yes.
we've got another Four Hands beer, Super Flare, and we also have Lagunitas Sucks. Both of them are IPAs. The Lagunitas Sucks is actually a double IPA or Imperial IPA for beer snobs.
Ooh, double IPA.
Can you sit on it, Joe?
Will it fit?
The main question.
Sorry.
If you look at our last episode, especially our Twitter feed, you'll notice a little beer. Well, it's a very mini beer pyramid we got going on. But there are two ginormous bottles in front of said pyramid. So it's going to be another good episode. So let's just get right into it. Matthew,
Sir.
we're doing movie reviews. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We got a few to go over since our last podcast. And what I tried to do was keep on point and on theme of the last episode. And I took Joe's recommendation and watched the Netflix Creep with Mark Duplass.
Ooh.
It
The
was
found footage one?
It was, in fact, creepy, indeed. It was really good, Joe. It was a good recommendation.
Well,
Got
no
my interest.
shit, because I recommended it.
But, kept my interest all the way through. Real quick watch, too. That's what I liked about it. Really quick watch, but quality all the way through.
It's about the length of a podcast.
It's about the length of the podcast. Yes, sir. Tubbies. I'll never look at Tubbies the same ever again. Thank you for making me watch Tubbies.
Oh, yeah.
That was just awful.
A couple
creepy.
girls out there I want to have a tubby with.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but it
No, me
sounds
neither.
funny.
I don't know what that is.
Dude, you don't.
You got to watch the movie.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Creep.
can't watch this movie. in
Shout
our
out to
house.
Mark Duplass.
You also have Mark Duplass. Thank you for Tubbies. And what was his name? What was the wolf mask name?
I know. I was trying to think of it, too.
Peach Fuzz, right?
Yeah, Peach Fuzz.
A whole different world with Peach Fuzz in it.
This is a movie we won't be watching in my house because my wife can't watch these, and she will not be able to sleep the night if we did.
Dude, you should still watch it though. It's really good. I like it.
it's
a lot.
cool.
It's really good. And if you've ever had a stalker, you probably want to watch it too. Relive your
Story of
creepy-
my life.
You got guys that want to take you out to the middle of the woods and hang out.
Yeah.
What's funny about
As a
that?
matter of fact, I do.
I'm looking at you, Flyboy69 at Twitter.
He stopped going to rest stops because of it.
Now I just created a rest stop in my backyard.
Okay, so Creep is highly recommended. All right.
Yeah, creepy.
Well, then you had recommended It Follows,
I did, yes.
which your review I think consisted of "fuck you, go watch it." If I remember correctly,
I kind of felt like I got cut off during my explanation, but I know Joe Dust watched it. I compared it to getting it's a supernatural STD,
Yeah.
and I think Joe agreed with my assessment there.
Right. Yeah, and shout out to Ginger Spice, who she's a big fan of our podcast.
Ginger Spice?
That's her Twitter name. And she also, I think after she listened to it, she was like, yeah, Tony's right. It Follows is freaky. And so I watched it, And
There's somebody
Well-
who listens to our show? I haven't heard this.
yeah, there's
Oh, cool.
she's one of the 6.
All right.
And that's including us.
Somebody watched the movie I
No, I'm
recommended.
just
I feel
joking.
so fucking
Well, just
we got-
famous.
Lori listened to
We
it.
got more and more followers now,
Sweet.
man.
I'm sorry.
But it
Go ahead.
follows though.
So is it an accurate description? A supernatural STD?
Yeah,
It
actually, that is an accurate
enough.
description.
Wow, look at that.
Supernatural
Accurate
STD, and that leads into like also my dad. Ever since I've been living with my parents, he likes to creep around the house and scare me. No more after that shit. After I watch that movie, I'll
Stab him in the
jack
face.
him right in the freaking jaw, because that's just going to scare me twice as bad now.
What
But yeah,
what
good
I've said-
recommendation.
Well, with these movies, it's not the like the music builds up, the suspense, and like somebody you turn the corner and they're there.
Yeah, there's no jump scare.
Right.
No,
It's
okay.
just they keep it in front of you the entire time, which
Yeah.
makes it even more jacked up.
You see
So-
somebody in the background just slowly. It's like Michael Myers slowly walking towards a person.
But you see, okay.
and there's not really an explanation. The gist of it is like, the only way to pass it on is to have sex with somebody. So when you have sex with that person, this entity
They can
take
now-
on a form that they
They
know.
can see. What's,
Only they can see
Only
it.
they
Oh,
can
okay.
see it. But
Gotcha.
because there's a creepy scene in the beginning where the guy goes, "Yeah, like the girl in the yellow dress walking down the movie theater aisle." She's like, "What girl?" And he's like, "We gotta get out of here." And that's pretty much what. But it's like so
Let
creepy.
me bang
enough.
you.
Yeah, I know. What girl in the red dress? This one. Wong. But like it was, it's creepy enough to where, and it's like all atmosphere in the movie, to where like if anything does happen in the movie, like a ball hits a window at one point, I'm like, fuck, like because I had headphones
Yeah.
on, I'm watching it. It's like it builds up to enough where you're watching like, what the hell is going to happen
So-
next?
And so, does it leave room for a sequel as well?
Yeah. I mean,
They could find a way.
Yeah,
They
but
could, but-
they shouldn't.
I don't
to be
think they
honest.
will.
Was it on Netflix?
No, I
No.
I found it online. I mean, no, I didn't. Shit, I'm at my parents' house. I did not find it on their internet server. Shit, I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
No, I mean I bought it on iTunes.
Some sound grip lost his job because
We just
of you.
won't tag it follows in this one.
I just wanted
Hey,
to
at
watch
least
it.
we're
I just want to
promoting
know. I just want to know where to find it.
It wasn't like it
is
wasn't a
out
bad
on Blu-ray and DVD and all that though.
It wasn't a bad movie. I just don't think it warranted the sequel. I think it.
No,
But the ending, I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but obviously you saw the ending,
yeah,
and
that's
it
like up
kind of
to
makes you wonder, like,
interpretation.
is it coming back for him or not? It was kind of
And
cool.
it's really cool. It's like a dream, the whole movie, because you have no idea what time period it is. You don't know what decade it is.
How they pull that off?
you just
like-
know it's in Detroit. That's all you know.
It's in
Oh, that's it.
Detroit.
Okay, well there you
Well,
go.
so,
Scary
But
enough.
they have like there's a girl that has like a futuristic looking shell that she can read like books on. Yet everybody has old school TVs. All the cars are like from different eras,
Huh.
and it's supposed to be that way. They said
Really?
because they don't want it.
They
to
don't want you to
pinpoint.
know.
They want it to be like almost like it's something you dream. That's just really eerie. And they did a good
A
job.
Yeah.
paranormal, STD, supernatural.
Yeah,
whatever
it's-
that would be.
Well, my sphincter buckled after I watched it. It worked.
yeah, I
It's
didn't
like
fall-
listening to a Nine Inch Nails album. Kind of the whole movie is. The soundtrack's good to it too.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
Sound
go
guy
watch
didn't
it.
like that. I don't think.
No, he's right. It's like the broken era.
When
What?
he whips his balls out, that means he doesn't like it.
2 balls down.
And since I didn't
That
get
sounds like a good beer name.
since I didn't get to do a Jax Teller impersonation, I'd be like, I was watching it at home alone, and I felt compelled to talk about it on the podcast. And Tara was in the other room getting stabbed in the neck by Gemma. And so if there's a sequel, she's not going to be able to watch it because I was crying on the kitchen floor. I sound like it's like a bad New York accent.
How would Morgan Freeman feel about it as well?
Tell you this much, it really rustled my jimmies.
Sorry, we had to go back because we missed it in episode 9. We
Matt
gotta-
brought that up.
I'm sorry.
So I wouldn't knock that out before I forget.
John Doe's got the upper hand.
John Doe goes the hand here. There's an entity following me, and
Oh,
guess I better
Jesus.
put it to somebody really quick so it doesn't follow me anymore.
Sound like a goose honking.
Give the old lady a how do you do behind the car over here.
Ow. Oh, I pulled the chest
Shit,
muscle.
Tony's having a heart attack.
Tony's having a heart attack. Please, quick, call 911.
All right, so anyway, that was It Follows.
Okay, so it follows. So I'll check it out. I'll find it. I will too. Will find it in
Yeah.
a legal manner of
Yes.
sort.
Thankfully, I bought it on Blu-ray and DVD.
And on iTunes.
Yeah, and on
To
iTunes, and
support
I
the creators. Yes.
and the comic book.
What's next?
What's next? To stick with the creepy movie theme as well, because I was really into that for some reason, because we've been talking about it so much. I went with Kevin Smith's Tusk was the next one I watched. Are me and Jay the only two that have
I still
watched
haven't seen it.
Tusk?
Not even know what you're talking about.
It was based off one of his episodes on Smodcast where they found a Craigslist ad, if I remember correctly, where basically a guy was offering free room and board for someone to come live with him so that he could tell his tales as a mariner. And I don't know if it was in the ad itself that he wanted them to dress up in a walrus suit.
I
can't
don't remember
the
if it was
details
either,
of that. But basically, what Jay had touched on in the previous episode was that basically the Michael Parks character, who is the mariner, he's the sailor that survived a shipwreck, and basically when he survived the shipwreck, he was befriended by his only companion was a walrus, and he was with him for a prolonged period of time, and that's how he developed that relationship.
Think Castaway with
Wilson.
Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah. But instead of Wilson a volleyball, it was
It's
a
a
walrus.
walrus with a giant dong.
With a giant dong.
They didn't actually
Flip
touch
that
on that,
off.
but we can imagine it was.
It's Kevin Smith, so it probably had a dong involved.
And it's a
Probably had an
really
asshole
messed up
too,
thing.
since he's
But-
on Dinosaurs with No Assholes in Jurassic
yeah.
World.
Yep.
But here's the thing: what Jay had touched on, which I agree with after watching it now, was the Michael Parks sailor character drew this. Basically, Justin Long was a podcaster. He's going there to interview him for his story. Going, you survived all this time with the walrus. We want to know more. Tell us everything you know about it. And Parks really just draws him in with his tales and just his speech pattern and all the stories and all that good stuff that he told. And lo and behold, at the end of it, you see a Justin Long transformed into a walrus.
He gradually mutates his body until
Yeah.
he becomes a walrus and he's living in the water.
It started off.
Jesus.
Spoilers, mind you. Spoilers.
Yeah.
It involves body parts being taken away, and eventually it's more a matter of the psychology of stripping away your humanity.
In fat Haley Joel Osment.
And a fat ass Haley Joel. Genesis Rodriguez, though, I'm a
Mhm.
big fan.
Yeah.
Big
I
fan
would
of
agree.
Genesis Rodriguez. Was she in anything else before this?
I don't know for sure. I didn't look her up.
I've never seen her in anything else before, but beautiful and she acted. She was a good actress. I thought
Yeah.
she
And
played the role really well.
This
And,
movie is the first part of his new trilogy
yeah,
with Yoga Hosers and
Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws is beautiful. And it's a long stretch from his comedies, and really I don't even want to put it in the same class as Red State, where people are saying Red State would be a horror film, and Red State was not a horror film at all, at least in my opinion. And
I
this
haven't
one,
seen it.
I don't see this one as a horror film either. And so
We're looking at Genesis
sorry
Rodriguez.
for the pause there. They just
Holy
now
shit.
discovered Genesis Rodriguez as well, which pretty cool first name as well, I will say.
Yeah.
And
Very biblical.
So, and what I liked about this one as well, again, not much time. It's hour 15, hour 20 maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
And very well written. Johnny Depp coming in for a cameo was pretty cool as well. I thought that was cool that he came in there.
His daughter's in it, right? Briefly?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And-
that's how you're going to see the sequel to the trilogy was his daughter and Kevin Smith's daughter are going to be in Yoga Hosers.
Okay.
They're clerks, if you can
Yeah.
imagine that.
So, I mean, it's funny that after viewing it himself, he kind of rips on himself for even making the movie.
His daughter rips on him for making it.
It's not bad.
No,
I've
it-
seen worse. That's the
No.
crazy thing is for as crazy as the premise of the movie is, I've seen Blue Valentine. I've seen
Okay.
that, and that's not as bad as this. So we'll say that. So he's
Okay.
got that going for him.
It's one of those movies where we finished and we're like, what did we just watch?
Okay.
At the very
The-
end,
yeah.
that was messed up at the end. we
And the
won't spoil
dialogue,
that.
was typical Kevin Smith. And
Very well written.
Yeah.
Very well written dialogue.
Okay.
So
it's worth checking out.
That walrus is on the elevator again.
if you'll teach the fear and respect. Then what else I watched after that was another kind of in the same vein of creepy movies was Purge, Anarchy. And I think Joe's the only one out of the group who has watched
Yeah.
that one as well. I did not like it as much as the first one because I thought the first one was really good.
I didn't actually even bother watching
So
the first
that's
one.
the crazy thing. The first one I think is a lot better. This one, I just didn't.
Was there anything that tied this one to the first one? Other than
the fact of the event other than the event or the day of what's called the purging, basically.
'Cause I know-
there's no tie-in.
I know they're making a sequel with Frank Grillo coming back for it.
And he's the guy that was the main character in the second
Yeah,
one.
he was
that plays Crossbones.
Crossbones, yeah.
In Captain America, yeah. So there were parts of it that I liked. Then it's kind of just ended. That's how I kind of
Yeah.
felt about it. It kind of just ended out of nowhere, and
It kept my attention though.
it started. It started to at the
Yeah.
beginning. It caught my attention, but then it just a little bit.
Well,
More of the same.
is it one of those movies where, like, the first one, it kind of I don't know, is this a total original? Like, it's not a remake of some foreign film. The original, The Purge.
If there was, I'm not aware of it.
So, because it seemed like when the first one came out a couple years ago, it seemed like, well, to me, something new, a fresh idea, somewhat. And then, of course, it had a huge success, or it made quite a bit of money. It was a low budget movie. It made quite a bit. So, of course, Hollywood wanted a sequel. But is it one of those movies where they should have just left it alone after the first one, based on the second movie?
I could see why they made one, because you could.
Right.
There was room left to say, find another antagonist or protagonist story. They could say, hey, the first one was Ethan
Ethan Hawke?
Hunt,
Yeah,
or Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke, sorry. Ethan Hunt's Mission Impossible.
Sorry.
Way to go.
I know I fucked up. That was just their story, and that was more of a home invasion.
Okay.
This one and the second one, there was no home invasion. This one was run through the city, basically, and try to survive. So
All right.
survival horror, which I'm a fan of survival horror, but this one really didn't have any horror aspects to it.
Okay.
And there wasn't at any point in the story where I felt they're not going to make it.
I mistook
You know.
your title of your movie. I thought you said survival horror. I'm like, is that an actual movie?
That'd be kind of cool.
That might be.
He
an
thinks I
actual
said the
movie.
word horror
Yeah,
as
not
in a
horror.
horror.
Yeah.
I said
That
I meant
movie- yeah, that
horror.
word is-
It's like a snuff film. It sounds like
The machine.
the machine.
When the machine meets Bob.
Ooh.
All right. Next movie.
Next one I watched, which kind of deviates from the creepy film in a little bit of a ways. Foxcatcher. Don't know if anyone else here has watched Foxcatcher. It got some acclaim because it's based on a true story of John DuPont. John DuPont of the DuPont family, DuPont Chemical Company. Kind of a recluse. There's a line in the movie basically saying, hey, I didn't have any friends. The one friend I had, my mom paid to be my friend. And he found out about that. And it had to do with mid-'80s Olympic wrestling team. And basically, he bought the team. And what I mean by that is he set up a wrestling facility or training complex on what's called Foxcatcher Farms. And in the midst of trying to, set up this wrestling team, basically him trying to fit in with some kind of group. Again, he's kind of a recluse, but it takes a pretty sick twist at the end. And it's all based on a true story, and what I found more interesting was not the movie itself, but the documentaries or the specials on the DVD that went with it that tell you everything you saw in the movie up to that point was pretty accurate. It was pretty spot on. They didn't take too many liberties in telling the story. And Steve Carell, 40-year-old virgin in The Office. We're talking polar opposite character in this movie. He is creepy as hell in this movie.
Oh yeah, I remember the scene where he has a gun or something. And he walks up to the facility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's
I blacked out for the
and
last 2 minutes.
I told Jay at one point I was going to put Channing Tatum in my top 5 most hated actors and most overrated actors.
Right.
And I've kind of taken a turn from that. I think after 21 Jump Street and after this one. He's not bad. He's actually not a bad actor. He's really funny in 21 Jump Street, but in this one you see him from a more dramatic standpoint. And he one of his best roles. I was like, wow, this guy pulled it off. Now, mind you, he's playing a wrestler, so not too far of a stretch, I guess, on what he's trying to portray. But Mark Ruffalo was in it with him. And Mark Ruffalo, again, I think he's underrated. My movie with him was the one I remember him most, or the first one I saw with him was You Can Count on Me. And he kind of transformed himself from a lackadaisical slacker to what we see here in Foxcatcher. really good. Highly recommended. The story behind the story is really what's interesting on this one. So that was one of the last ones I've seen. Another one which has nothing to do with anything except for the box cover said, "When Hoosiers Meets Friday Night Lights." It was a movie called "When the Game Stands Tall." It has Jesus from Passion of the Last Christ.
Jim Caviezel.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever how you pronounce his name. And it had to do with the De La Salle high school football team. They had a 150-game win streak, which was the longest in the nation.
Nice.
And what I didn't realize before I started watching it was made by basically the what's his name,
Kirk Cameron.
Basically the Kirk Cameron production company.
Oh, Jesus.
Very, very,
Very much so.
very yes,
Yeah.
very Jesus. Very Jesus into it, and just not very realistic in regards to how they portray high school kids. I'm sorry, I don't see high school kids break down into prayer in the middle of a football game. Stuff like that.
You haven't been to
prayer.
CBC.
What's isn't it? Is it Rotten Tomatoes that
Yeah.
he's got the lowest rated movie in like IMDb history or something, or is it Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb? What? I don't know.
It
What
was
the hell.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. That Christmas special thing he did or whatever just got.
Kirk Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
just
was-
blasted them for it.
Oh yeah. Fantastic.
But I mean, it was nothing like Hoosiers and nothing like Friday Night Lights at all, and very disappointing movie. Didn't like it.
I see.
Would not recommend it to anybody. Not that Jesus does a bad job in the movie. That's not his name. I'm
Jim
sorry.
Caviezel.
Thank you.
Just call him JC. It's the same damn thing.
Why
He
do you
doesn't
think
do-
he was in the movie?
Yeah.
He didn't do a bad job. Just a not good movie. Not good movie at all. We'll say that. And other than next one's you. Next one is Mission Impossible. Rogue
Oh
Nation.
yeah, Rogue Nation. Solid. When I say it's exactly what I expected. When I say it's what I expected, it's not a bad thing. It's straight up, it's Mission Impossible. Crazy stunts, unrealistic odds and things like that. But Tom Cruise is crazy in a good way.
So
Hanging from a
the
plane.
hanging on the side of the plane.
It
How
was
legit, how
real.
legit was that?
It was real. They did 8 takes with him hanging on the side of the plane.
I saw a making of featurette showing it, and it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Now, was that like one of the most? Was that like the main action scene in the movie where he does that, or is that just
No,
like,
there's other shit he does. That
that wasn't the most fantastic thing he did in the movie?
That's
No,
yeah.
that's the craziest. The
Okay.
the craziest thing is when he's driving down that alley and he pulls the fucking e-brake and he fucking does that.
Turns
where
into
he
Hope Solo.
literally has, like,
Turns into Hope Solo's B flaps. What?
That's going to be a recurring joke now.
Oh, man. That is a giant vagina.
I don't want to hear anything come from that vagina when I hit it. All right, silence.
Okay.
I don't
Song
know what that was. All right.
Steve just had an Asperger's moment.
I think that's Tourette's. Dude.
Fuck off. Scientology, got to be quiet. Pregnant thing.
Oh, yeah. Now I get it.
Anyway, Steve.
Tom Cruise, Scientologist.
Cut his mic.
He's way smarter than I am. I'm sorry.
So, but it was. I'm gonna go with it was good. Correct.
Yes.
Go
good.
see it.
Action packed. I don't. I'm trying to think. Compared to, there's now 5 Mission Impossibles total. It's hard to rank them. Honestly, they're this one.
Other than
just,
2 being at the bottom.
2 is pretty
Yeah,
bad.
2 was John Woo getting all fancy and shit. 2's not. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's. This one's keeping the trend going.
And 3's not too memorable, to be honest with you, because it was
The
hit.
motorcycle part, I think,
Yeah.
was it.
Well, that was on the bridge where basically, don't they have like basically a missile launcher that they shoot on the bridge?
Well,
and
there's a
he goes
drone. There's like a
flying?
drone taking out
Yeah.
people and stuff. It was,
I
That's
kind of
not- that's
blocked
not
that out
memorable,
because
yeah.
Limp Bizkit did the theme of that one. So
oh yeah.
Now I know why you want to hate me. That song?
But I guess if you want to say 2 and 3 not being as good as say part 1, 4. Ghost Protocol took it up a notch,
I like
and
it. Yeah, that was really
and
good.
Rogue Nation is continuing that.
see, didn't
trend.
they set up Ghost Protocol those for Jeremy Renner to take over?
That's what I
and
had
then,
thought the rumor was. Yes, but he's not He's not that much younger than Cruise, is he?
I don't know.
He's in his 40s.
Cruz is in his 50s though.
So that's what
Yeah.
I mean. They're not that far apart. But how about Simon Pegg? How is Simon Pegg in it?
Oh, he's good. He's
He's good.
he's still funny as hell.
Yeah.
There seemed to, I think there was a little bit more comedy in this one, from what I remember. So that little comedic.
How about Rebecca Ferguson? And I'm just looking at photos.
Oh yeah.
When she gets out of the pool.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, movie. It's all solid, and I think Renner really didn't have a whole lot in this one. Really, he's a good action star. I figured he'd be doing a lot more than what he's doing. Really,
Wasn't
right
it him too that they're going to set up the Bourne franchise for, and Matt Damon's coming back to that?
Yep.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
he's
still
coming
think
back for the next
the
one.
rumor is that they're supposed to. Renner's supposed to be doing his own one as well. That's been the rumor. I don't know if they're ever going to cross over in some way, shape, or form or not. But Renner's supposed to. There's supposed to be a sequel for the Bourne
Bourne
Legacy. Yeah. We'll see.
Joe, what about Happy Valley?
I just watched a movie a couple days ago on Netflix called Happy Valley, and really it's just about the Penn State scandal and how like Penn State reacted after it. And it's pretty good, and I think that Joe Paterno and everybody's guilty as shit. I know there's like some people that still like, you don't know everything, but he didn't report it to
stop
everybody.
anything,
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bill
And,
Cosby didn't rape women.
He didn't go to Penn State either.
That's
but-
so 2
It
weeks
doesn't
ago.
matter.
That's like 2 weeks ago.
No, we and it's
Fuck
great
off.
because there's one guy they interview in that documentary who's a student there. He's like class of 2013. He's like, here we are. He goes, then we're trying to recover and we put the names on the back of our jerseys. That's not what we do. He goes, yeah, okay, all this stuff happened to these kids. We got a game against Nebraska next week. And like this dude's just totally serious. And
Yeah.
he's like the guy that was on a video and he grabbed his Joe
Jesus.
Paterno photo out of his dorm room and was like waving it, as people were overturning cars and stuff. Because that nothing shows that you're pro-rape and molestation, like overturning news vans.
Was he a big
So basically, they tried to blame it on the media.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what all the students did.
He must have
Right.
been a big fucking meathead, didn't he?
No, he. I don't know what that was.
I heard that
upstairs.
through my headphones.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, he wasn't a meathead. He looked at pretty much every other guy at Citibank. He looked like that. But he just, and then he actually ended up leaving Penn State after all that because the football team, they just weren't taking it as serious, after that. And like he was like the perfect example.
He went down to Alabama.
Yeah, he went to Alabama. He's like, now I get to have sex with my sister.
So good documentary. That's good.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was okay. It was just, it kind of shows you all their mindset.
Not quite 30 for 30.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It should have sounded like it would be a 30 for 30, but
Yeah, it wasn't a 30 for 30. It was, I forgot, some dude just made it. But, yeah.
Hi, this is Martin
This is Eric. And Augustus.
from Two-Legged Tie, and you're listening to the Nyrdcast on the Inside Joke, Outside Voice podcast network.
Yep. And the only other one that none of us has seen, though, but that's on purpose, would be Fantastic Four. It is getting destroyed on Rotten Tomatoes. The director himself ripped on his own movie on Twitter, saying basically the studio cut out, I think he said 3 action sequences.
3 big action sequences.
Which I'm like, if it's only a 2-hour movie, you just cut
Like
They-
almost all your action
cut
sequences.
all of it, out
They
of the
apparently
movie.
changed the ending on him too.
Which that makes you wonder.
You have some barking spiders in the studio.
What was the point? Why even release it? If your studio's going to get that involved with it,
You saw
Why
what
not
happened to
do-
Daredevil.
they should have just let it go. They should let the property go. Because now what's the point? Fox released it. They're not going to hold on to that property any longer.
I told Toner on the way over, I hope Deadpool is really, really good, but because of the R rating, it doesn't get anything at the box office,
and they let it go back.
and they
to
let
Marvel.
everything goes back to Marvel. Or at least work on a deal like
Well,
Sony did.
They need to learn. Yeah, make that move. Because to be honest with you, from the trailer, I was sold on Fantastic.
No, I was too.
I was
Yeah.
I was all in. I was like,
Same
I'm
here.
seeing this movie. I'll spend
especially
money
the
to go see
last
it.
trailer.
Oh, absolutely.
Won't they just remake it in another 10 years anyway?
That's
Yeah,
it.
well,
What's the
yeah.
point, though? What
Well,
would even be the point of doing it?
Yeah, Fox just needs to wise up, like Sony did, because they've screwed up. Now this is their 3rd Fantastic Four movie they've screwed up. You got X-Men Origins Wolverine, and X-Men 3. As far as their these Marvel properties, they clearly can't. They've had success with the most recent X-Men movies, which I know, which is why they're probably going to keep arguing that we'll get Fantastic Four right the 4th time around or some shit. They just you got to give it up, man. Disney, write the check, dude. Get it out of Fox's hands.
They can afford it.
Yeah,
it's not
easily.
It's not a matter of affording. It's a matter of them letting it go.
The next one's the Fantastic Four, the fourth one.
They're going to start getting Sharknado titles because Fox just sucks.
Fantastic Four. Oh, hell
Nobody
no.
at Fox will hear this, but Fox, you are the shittiest studio out there, dude.
What?
Just stop.
You have a director that made a decent comic-like property in Chronicle.
Mhm.
You failed miserably in the first two renditions of this franchise. Why not just see what happens? Why not just let him have the creative control over it? And that way, if it does tank, you go, hey, this was all under director. We're getting a new director in here. We're going to try a different.
Let
go
him
in a
do
different
it.
direction.
Take it to test audiences.
Yeah.
Get comic book fans in there to watch it and see what they say. I mean, yeah, they're going to be a little more critical because they're fans of the source material, but you can make them happy. You can make anybody happy.
Makes sense. But
It's just disappointing because it's a good property. The characters are important to the entire Marvel universe. The fact that they won't let go of it because of money they think they'll make off of it, which they'll get proven wrong. I guarantee they'll lose money on this.
this movie...
If it continues to go at the rate it's going, for as much as they spent on advertising alone, because there's more commercials on this than I've seen for any other Fox
Product tie-ins.
With the X-Men movies, I don't remember the X-Men movies getting this much advertising. I've seen more commercials and short little clips of 30 seconds on each character coming out on TV. You would think the reason why they are hitting it so hard on advertising is they had to have known after the finished product was done. They're like, oh shit, we gotta try and get people in theaters any way we can, because if they actually go and see this piece of crap, once the word of mouth gets out, we're done. This has to be it. That first initial box office first weekend, gone.
Well, I'm looking at the numbers right now because at the time of this recording, it's is opening weekend for the Fantastic Four. And just so you know, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation came out last week, was number one with around like 56 million. And Fantastic Four couldn't even beat Mission Impossible
in its second
weekend.
Yeah.
Its estimate is 26.2 million. And I don't know if they're going to list it on here, but I thought it had 150. Yeah, it doesn't say right here, but the rumor was it had a $150 million budget.
And Fantastic Four cleared 22 million.
It looks 26.2 here domestically. Oh god, it only made 34.1 million overseas. So a total opening weekend of roughly 60.3 million.
They're
so
done.
it's
And word of mouth's out now.
Yeah,
and no one's gonna go see it.
Sounds like it's a fantastic bore.
Oh!
Boom.
I see what he did there. Because bore rhymes with four.
Your mother's a whore.
That was naughty.
Oh, that was very naughty indeed. So yeah, that's movie roundup. Couple good ones, couple not good ones,
And one we won't even watch.
and one we won't even go watch.
And we were briefly mentioning one that I think just came out Friday, The Gift.
The
That
Gift,
was pretty
yes,
awesome.
and I want to go see that. That's with
Yeah,
Bateman,
looks
right?
good.
Yep.
Jason Bateman's in that one.
I've heard like
It's the end. There's
Yeah, I
supposed to be
heard
a twist
the ending.
ending.
there's like
and-
multiple kind of,
and
or
throughout
at
the
least
movie?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's gotten really good
Well, 'cause
reviews. so
wasn't
far.
there also another movie already called The Gift? Wasn't that the one
Yes.
with
Yeah,
Katie Holmes?
Katie
in it?
Holmes. Where you see
Yeah.
Katie Holmes' tits.
Yeah, what's up, Dawson River Kid? What up?
Dawson's River Kid. Oh god.
Hey, that's the only reason to watch that show,
Not
I
Michelle
listened
Williams.
to.
Not Michelle fucking Williams. No.
Was that episode 8 where you meant I don't know, whatever episode it was, I think it was 8 where he
Doesn't
mentioned
matter.
Dawson's River Kid. I was laughing so
I
hard.
remember as Harold and Kumar go to White Castle though, where they're talking about The Gift, and he goes, Katie Holmes is a nice wholesome girl, and I'm gonna see her boobs.
Was it Doogie that said that? Was it that?
No, it was two of the Jewish
many
guys. They're Jewish guys because they constantly talk about it, and yeah, and then finally they see it.
So is
they're
this a
getting ready
religious
to run
thing
out.
with Katie Holmes?
Seeing her boobies is a religious movement on its own.
And they're getting ready to leave, and that comes on. And he goes, "Oh my God, those aren't real." Yes, they are.
Oh,
Good
right.
movie. Actually, that movie actually isn't that bad either.
I don't remember it, to be honest with
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
It's kind of eerie. Yeah.
Hmm.
So anyway,
you. But anyway, let's leave other movie news. Let's go with a short one. Let's quick tidbit and go to a more in-depth discussion, I guess. Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. Let's hit that first. I think that's a good casting for the character, in my opinion. Although the rumors with him being the next Green Lantern, that kind of intrigued me more because that's the character I want to know, because I want to know who's going to be in the Justice League movie because we
Right.
know we've got is Cyborg casted to have.
Yeah,
we know
he's
gonna be in
casted.
it, he's
Cyborg's
casted.
cast.
He's casted.
We've got Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Cyborg, Flash is casted.
Yes.
Aquaman.
Aquaman's casted. So basically, of the main 7, we've got one left, right?
Right.
And that's Green Lantern.
And who's going to fix Ryan Reynolds' mess?
And who's gonna? And now,
That's
are we gonna
I don't-
always
yeah.
blame it on just him?
No, it's
I
not
can't
just
blame
him.
it on
Warner
Ryan
Brothers,
Reynolds.
DC, like
They screwed.
he should have
fucked
never
that
been
up.
cast in the role in the first place.
He doesn't fit that role. No, I agree.
What is
Oh, Katie
we
Holmes.
could have Katie Holmes be
Jesus.
Green Lantern.
Damn.
Oh, apparently my phone has the internet.
So, but with him coming out, the big rumor, because it was during Comic-Con when this first came out,
Right.
San Diego Comic-Con, that, hey, Chris Pine's going to sign on for a big character. And I'm like,
Right.
if you're going to say big character, I expected Green Lantern, because that would be the next
Right. I mean,
logical
Not a
point.
love interest for Wonder Woman.
And
Right.
I don't find Steve Trevor to be that big of a deal, except if they let him do his role, which I would have hoped they would have cast this for Suicide Squad.
Then see, that was where everyone was thinking
Yeah.
one of the other cast members of Suicide Squad was going to do that role.
Yeah.
Eastwood, is it Scott Eastwood?
Scott
Oh,
Eastwood,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, they thought he was going to be that role.
That role, okay. So yeah, because we could have seen Trevor be involved at that point. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the casting. I'm curious if why they want that with a big name. If they're gonna go traditional Wonder Woman relationship with Steve Trevor versus the current relationship, which you'd see the love interest between Wonder Woman and Superman.
I haven't followed any of the DC
See,
recently,
that's the thing.
so I don't really know.
That's what it is now. Is basically Superman is no longer with Lois Lane.
Yeah, I
which makes you
vaguely
go,
remember that.
Hey, in Man of Steel, he had his love interest as Lois Lane, so it makes you think they're not going to follow source material. And DC, if you haven't learned anything from Marvel, is if you're going to do things like Marvel does, you follow your source material. And you'll have
To a
success.
point, because they've changed some stuff in the Marvel
Some.
movies.
Some, but your main outline
Right.
being from the source material, and it doesn't seem like DC is doing that. We'll see, but which they could be. We'll see. We'll see with Batman v Superman if they follow, Dark Knight Returns as their outline. We'll see.
Well, I said this to Toner, though. DC's gone a little more out there doing Suicide Squad as their third movie, where Marvel set up a lot of established characters first and then went out there with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, which leads me to this point where I saw today online the next possible Netflix property for Marvel. Did you see this one?
No.
Thunderbolts
Ooh.
might be the next Marvel
Ooh.
property.
That is going to be hard to do, though, to pull off the right way.
It
If
depends,
it-
on, it
if it-
depends on which
Right.
version of
Yeah.
Thunderbolts you're going to do.
If you do
You
the
got Ross in
original...
there.
If you do the original,
Yeah.
you're going to go with a bunch of no-names. A bunch of
Well-
comic no-names, to be honest.
Well, and they were all established villains when the comic started, so everyone knew who these guys were when they did the big reveal.
Versus where we're at now, where it's not exactly villains versus more anti-hero.
Right.
Correct? That's how I'd look at it.
Yeah, Venom, Punisher, Red Hulk.
Elektra, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Which I would think you'd go
But-
that route because you get more recognition from your mainstream audience versus
But you have to amend it because you don't have Deadpool.
possibly. So, I thought that was interesting for Netflix to go that route. I'll watch it if they actually ever did it.
Here's the other issue with Hulk. Marvel technically doesn't own the rights to distribute anything with Hulk. That was
What
the
about
big
Red-
holdup.
But what about Red Hulk? Would be the
Yeah,
question.
Red Hulk. Is it?
I don't know
because
if it'd be tied to it because
that
it's tied
would be-
property-wise.
I tell Universal to fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
Marvel. I'm the biggest studio on the planet. Sorry, that's why I don't hold any management positions because, as you can see, I hate people.
Tony, I need a sick day. Fuck you.
Sick on these nuts. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
All
Anyway, we got after that Affleck. The news of Ben
Oh,
Affleck.
yeah,
and
real
the,
quick on
and the
that.
screening.
Apparently, there was a private screening for, I guess, the higher ups at Warner Brothers. They got to watch the finished product of Batman v Superman, and loved it. Thought Affleck just killed it. They love him. So apparently, the movie that's coming out is it 2018 is when the next solo Batman movie is supposed to come out. So Affleck's going to be starring and directing that film. But apparently, they want to make another trilogy, another Batman trilogy over the
Now, is
next
it gonna
10
be
years.
a trilogy, or is this the new Hollywood trilogy, where it's really 4 movies, but they say the third movie is part 1 and part 2? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, but I'm anxious to. I'm anxious to see Affleck in action. see how his take on Batman is. And
See, I heard there was a test screening too for fans, and it got a standing ovation.
I heard something. I didn't know what
See, now what you read differs from what I read, where it was a standing ovation from the DC execs.
Okay.
I
Or
wouldn't
Warner
sure.
Brother
Well.
execs. Which leads you to go, well, you think, yeah, that's our own property. We're going to try to hype this up as much as possible and get that news story out there where it could be true, it couldn't be true. Hey, we liked our own product.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
But these are the
Yeah.
same guys that made Batman and Robin and Green Lantern. Probably not the same producers and writers and all, but still, it's like, yeah, you guys put out Green Lantern, on purpose.
Joel Schumacher didn't stand up and give an ovation.
There was an ovation.
This
in his
movie's
pants
so
the whole
awesome
time,
and
though.
realistic.
Where are the bat skates?
Fucking Schumacher. You shouldn't even be filming commercials, you fucking hack.
Tell us
Anyway, I'm
how do you really feel about Joe
All right.
Schumacher?
Shark repellent bat spray.
Speaking of which, but a different type of fish. One movie I did watch I forgot to tell you guys about was one of those movies where I'm up way too late and I just don't feel like going to bed. Watched Piranha Double D.
Oh. Is it
Remember
like
they eat them
Sharknado?
and like
or-
their fake boobs float to the top,
Dude.
to the top of the water.
Mind you, I didn't watch the whole thing and it was on Sci-Fi, so it was heavily edited. The reason why I stopped on the channel to watch it, not because of the fake boobs, which were that's awesome, but what's her name on The Flash? The main girl that works with Cisco.
Oh.
Is
I
it
know-
Caitlin?
her name's Caitlin, but what's her real name?
I don't-
Danielle?
Something
Hannah
like
Baker or
that.
something like that?
Ask the
But she-
WB expert.
But she was in it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, hell, I've seen her. She's actually in a movie. I didn't know she actually did anything before The Flash. So I stopped on this to watch it and go, oh, there's probably a reason why she doesn't recognize the fact that I was
She's
in
filming
Piranha
Piranha
Double D.
Oh,
But,
God.
Jay, guess who did a short cameo in this movie?
Who was that?
Doc Brown was in
Doc
this
Brown?
movie. Doc
Oh.
Brown is in the movie for a short while. It was pretty good.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's in the movie.
Run for it, Marty!
1.21 gigawatts.
Dude, I was like, what the hell? Why is he doesn't need to be in that movie. He doesn't have to, but he
What
would.
else has he been in recently, though?
I don't know. Nothing.
Everybody wanted to be in Sharknado 3, so
Ah.
I feel, speaking of Doc Brown, I used to make, like, Tony and Bobby and Jason, everybody laugh. I forgot, you might have been playing, too, on Call of Duty, when I impersonate Christopher Lloyd in Back to the Future 3. And I go, this rifle can shoot the fleas off a dog at 500 yards, and it's pointed at your head, Tannen! I think there was, like, a week or two straight where I'd say that every night.
Jesus.
That was good.
But let's see who. Speaking of which, with biting off the boobs. No, I'd walked away, but Jen was watching the movie, and
Let's talk more about Jen.
she goes.
she doesn't listen, so it's fine.
She doesn't listen to this. She goes, do you realize there's a part in there where there's a couple and they're having sex in the pool, and a piranha gets in there, and at one point the piranha bites his dick off? I was like, no, should we rewind? She goes, no, that's it.
That reminds me of a movie we saw called Teeth, about a girl whose vagina
Yeah.
had teeth in it.
What?
Oh my
and this
god!
guy tried to rape
You've
her.
seen this?
It's on
Oh.
Netflix.
Is
I-
it on
Oh.
Netflix?
No, it was on the movie channel, like Showtime.
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay,
Like this is like a
Like,
B, like a
it is
B.
a
Oh,
movie.
her
shit
vagina has
movie.
teeth.
Yes.
That's all.
It's called
Joe,
Teeth.
you seen it as well?
I
And
haven't
it-
seen it
okay.
yet.
And
We
it's
were
like a
watching
defense mechanism. It's like when she's in a highly stressed situation, almost like the Hulk. It'll
So her vagina rages out.
Right.
And grows
And it-
fangs.
She's like a
And
chick
it-
on Tumblr. When she gets triggered, her vagina just lashes out.
She's
Yeah, that
a
was-
guy's about to rape her,
Her-
and
and
it
and he's
bites
like-
his cock
and
off.
He's like, oh yeah.
And then you just see it laying there. You're like, oh!
And the end scene, the dog, like
We didn't make
very
it to the end.
I made it to the end, and the one part where
I need to
it's-
watch it.
It's like her stepbrother tries to rape her, and
Well, he did as a kid or
well,
something.
yeah,
Jesus.
and so it
He
comes
lost
up
a
there,
finger or
and-
something as a kid.
Freddy Got Fingered sequel.
He lost a finger as a kid.
But yeah, the dog comes up and he's sitting there and he starts licking it and he starts chewing it. He's like,
Oh, dude.
whatever the dog's, he's like, don't eat that while
He's
he's
like-
bleeding all over the fucking
Wow.
bed. You know?
John Bobbitt scene.
Because going back to Piranha Double D was Ving Rhames is in the movie, and I guess he must have been in Piranha 1D. I don't know what you call that one. But Ving Rhames, and I guess maybe in the first one, Ving Rhames got his legs eaten off by piranhas. So in this one, he's in a wheelchair, and the guy that pushes him around is his caretaker, I guess. Mind you, I just watched about 30 minutes of the movie. Is Paul? Shear is his last name. He's
Yeah.
the guy that does the How Did This Get Made podcast.
Yeah.
He's in the
The League.
He's
yeah.
in the league as
Yeah.
well.
Andre.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
Teflondre.
And for the guy that loves nothing but horrible movies, it
Yeah.
was great to see him in a really, really bad B movie.
Yeah.
And he tells Paul Shear, "Go give me my legs." And Ving Rhames puts on prosthetic legs that are rifles, and he starts taking out piranhas with his legs, kind of like is it Machete?
Yeah.
With
Oh.
what's her name?
That's what I was thinking of.
McGowan or
Rose
whatever.
McGowan,
She
yeah.
got she just puts a rifle on for her leg or whatever. And so Piranha Double D. Check it out.
You know what movie you guys will probably make fun of me for never seeing that I should? It's on Netflix. It's Kill Bill.
You've never
You've
seen
never seen
Kill
that?
Bill?
No,
They're legit.
I don't know why. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Every time I look at it, I'm just like, eh.
It's
I'll
good.
watch it.
It's worth
Yeah,
seeing.
it's worth watching.
Yeah, I've seen both. It's solid.
I like Uma Thurman too.
Yes. Well, shit.
That's our movie roundup. Except Steve said that there's a rumor about a sequel coming out that might intrigue
All I
people.
saw on Facebook, it says Beetlejuice 2, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton. That's all it says. That's it.
And then you
That's
click
it.
the link and it says you've been punked, probably.
No, I didn't even click it.
I've-
I just saw it. I'm like, let me ask you guys because you see the
Well, no.
movies
and
more than
we'll
me,
touch on it
so.
real quick because I know you got to get out of here, Steve-O. When Birdman had come out and was getting all that acclaim, Michael Keaton, greatest actor on the planet, all this shit.
His
Which I
John
like.
Travolta revival.
Right? Yeah. I've always liked Michael Keaton. It's just he. I guess he kind of fell off for a while. So he did an awesome performance in Birdman, and so now I guess all these scripts and everything is coming his way. But it's kind of funny. You take on this role of Birdman, and now like, hey, you want to do Beetlejuice too? Okay. So I guess Tim Burton's on board, Keaton's on board, and I don't know.
Did you guys see him in what's the fucking name of the racing game on PS3 and 4? Need for Speed.
You mean with Pinkman? With Jesse Pinkman? No,
Yeah,
it's-
that
oh, that was Pinkman.
I actually watched it. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was for the movie. It was like the first part of it's actually pretty good.
To be honest with you, the only Keaton movie I've seen since basically we'll call it the resurrection of Keaton, would be RoboCop. He was in the RoboCop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He played the main antagonist in that one. He
I
was
didn't-
pretty good at
Yeah,
it.
I
thought he did
I thought
really
RoboCop
well.
was pretty
But
good.
no, he
I
was
liked
actually pretty good in the Need for Speed, being that underground. He was like an underground announcer for the like the
it. Racing shit.
yeah the
Okay.
race that like this big race they have all the time. So that's not bad. But yeah, that's all I saw it on Facebook. I was like, really? I'm like, is he gonna do this?
Is there something else to say with Beetlejuice 2?
But they couldn't do with Beetlejuice 1. Always be known as the second best Batman.
Sounds
We'll
like
say
that'll
that.
be a solid 4.5 on IMDb. Beetlejuice 2.
Shit. Well, I know we're kind of pressed for time here.
Sorry.
It's all right. Do we hit on the movies we wanted to talk about?
Hit all the movies, but we did leave out one important topic, though.
Which is?
This would be
Music thing.
we could do that.
That shit.
That's
Or-
one we can probably tease for next.
Tease.
episode.
Let's do that next week. Yeah.
But the only other thing that I thought would be an intriguing topic to hit on was no one went and saw Fantastic Four, which is the big superhero movie. We all thought, hey, superheroes can't miss, can't lose superheroes anymore. But then a movie coming out at Christmas, which is not a superhero movie, but I wonder why they're not classified superheroes, being Star Wars: Force Awakens. Why are Jedis not superheroes? Would be the topic I was thinking we were going to hit on.
We had a superhero day at work last week, and Aaron went around and asked everybody why. Because they have powers with the Force,
Mm-hmm.
she thinks they should be classified as superheroes.
See, and my argument would be, do they really have powers with the Force, or do they just have the ability to manipulate the Force?
But it's powers everyday people don't have.
True. So I could see the argument of why they are not superheroes, but would you like to take the pro? Which side were you on in this debate?
I'm kind of on the con just for the fact that I've grown up with Marvel superheroes and DC superheroes, and Star Wars has just always been something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I went the nerd route and looked up superheroes on
As
in the
a
dictionary,
definite-
yes.
In a dictionary, what defines a superhero?
Yes.
This what makes you a nerd, but go
yes,
ahead.
I know. A fictional character who has amazing powers,
Okay.
or a very heroic person.
Both Jedis.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did some digging around just to to try to shut my wife up.
Okay.
And one thing about superheroes is they have costumes and secret identities, and Jedis don't have that.
They have costumes. Sure they do. The cloak.
They're just monks.
That can go into this too, because
Because
they're
I
more
mean,
considered
Luke
religious.
has the black cloak in Return.
Yeah, but that's more religious garb, because people considered being a Jedi as part of a
Okay.
religion.
Okay.
And then I also thought,
So you're trying to say Jesus is not a superhero? Is that what you're trying
Walk
to
on
say?
water, you asshole.
only when he rides a dinosaur.
Well, I definitely want to touch on that more, definitely. But I think we're gonna have to do it for episode. The hell's this? 10, episode 11.
11 and 12.
I think for
We need
episode
to
11.
So,
we need
yes,
to wish
we will-
Jay
we will-
a safe recovery for his ankle surgery. Yes.
So
you can make
we
it.
will continue this debate at another date.
Yeah.
So
And we also
If
got,
you want to chime in, come on the website and leave a comment on the episode.
we've also got good topics such as drunk snaps that nobody looks at,
Snapchats.
Fangirls on Twitter.
fangirls on Twitter, and bad tattoos.
Nice.
and then the whole thing that we were going to get into is can our bands from the 90s, if they get to same selves now with all the shit that's out there now. That's what me and Matt were going to try to get into, but we didn't do that.
Well, yeah, we have plenty of topics for the next for
Cut 'em off.
upcoming
Tony's
episodes.
been cut off.
Sorry.
again.
Yeah.
I just drank a beer. Who wants to do me?
All right, we gotta get out of here. Steve has a karaoke gig tonight because he's all famous and important and shit in the karaoke underworld. So
Is that a real thing? Can
It
we say
is,
that?
it is.
Underworld of
Yeah.
Look it up on Facebook
it's
and you'll find me.
It's
I'm
a Netflix
serious.
documentary, Underground Karaoke.
If it's not, it should be.
That's right. It'd be great. So yeah, thanks for hanging with us this evening. We'll be back for episode 11, chock full of more awesome slurring and topics of just shit. So anyway, I go by the name of Toner.
I'm Joe Dust.
Jay?
Matt.
Sound guy Steve.
Until next time, do whatever it is you do. Peace.
Deuces! This rifle can shoot the fleas off a dog at 500 yards, and it's pointed at your head, Tannen!
Thanks again for listening to the Nyrdcast podcast. Be sure to check us out online at nyrdcast.com and look for us on social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Nyrdcast. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for Nyrdcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to rate or review the podcast on iTunes. Our podcast is part of the Inside Joke Outside Voice Network. Check out IJOV.net for more great podcasts.